Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Necroxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 up here to the northwest corner of the map, ending with Team 2 in the southeast corner. Starting off with the Emerald Green player of Team 1, it is Mythologist going first, land as a UEF. To his northwest, we have Pepe's going first, land in, that is glow in the dark green as a Seraphim. In the middle here for Team 1, Virgot Air slot, most likely we have Capricious going first, land as UEF in tropical ocean blue. To the north, we have the Ruby Red player of System Failure going first, land as another UEF for his team. And last but not least here for Team 1, we have Artifacts going first, land in Barbie Pink as a Cybern. Team 1 side of things, we have 3 UEF, a Cybern, and a Seraphim. No UEF for Team 1 to use. So for those who love the Colossus, that's going to be diminished, at least on that side of the field. Let's go ahead and check out Team 2, starting off with Dorset going first, land as a Seraphim in the rust color. To the south in light oak tan, we have Kane going first and second, land as a UEF. In the middle here for Team 2, we have Maximus Triple X going first, land in Pac-Man yellow as another UEF. Lots of UEF this game. And the first and only Aeon of this game, we have Sty GYC. I think I'll call him Sty for short, going first, land second, air in snow white. And last but not least here for Team 2, a third UEF appearing here on Team 2. It is ADZ 3000 going first and second, land in royal blue. So for Team 2 side of things, as I mentioned, there are 3 UEF players, an Aeon and a Seraphim, so they do not have access to Cybern technology. So be aware there are no Monkey Lords, no Mantis, and of course, no Telemazer nonsense. Let's take a look at Reclaim here very shortly. We have 5,857. It's not actually a lot of Reclaim for 10 players, so a lot more focus will be on gathering up mexes and, of course, building up mass fab farms. And with the layout of the additional mexes on the map, there will be some players to go for the southwestern corner with that Trimex locations, but a lot of it will be centered around this middle location. There's almost like a face. You have essentially the 2 eyes, the nose, and the mouth. And so that's going to be a lot of mexes here for our players to scoop up. Besides that, everything else is kind of in their main bases, or at least nearby surrounding areas. So it's going to be essentially just a straight fight down the middle. Of course, we have we're going to have incursions all along this middle line here, but again, a lot of the focus should be centered around getting all of these mexes under heal. And in terms of ratings, this game, it is an even 1400 to 1400 average rating at 93%. Highest rated player in the game is System Failure at a 1700, with Team 2 also having a 1700 of Kane. Lowest rated player in the game is STY, or Stig for short. I think I call him Stig for short. Apologies if I do not pronounce his name correctly. So not a huge discrepancy, but again, we have a couple of pros and some Joes in there mixed in, of course. We do have an early bomber here from Team 1 out from the player of Pepe's, going after these engineers on a land factory. We'll see if he gets all 3. I think he'll get at least 2 on the first bomber, and there's the bomb. Takes out the first 2 right there. We'll come back and take out the second one. Air Scout getting a nice little readout on the enemy base here for Team 1. You can see what they can see so far, kind of just hovering around the position here in the south. We do have another Air Scout on its way to patrol. And again, I say this, most of my cast intel, pretty much the most important thing you can get in this game, because the more you know, the more you can prepare for. We have gun speed and range going down here kind of early at 4.5, 5 minutes here for Artifacts, getting a nice upgrade gun speed and range on that commander. It is the right gun, right? Yeah, it's the right gun because the left one is the engineering one. And we have some combat going on. Some of these THAMs have gotten past the commander of artifacts and are moving in to try to take out some engineers. I think they score at least 1 kill, but there are nearby mantis to scoop up those enemy forces. We have 2 comms moving from the south from Team 2 into this central position. Team 1 does have some sort of position set up, but no defenses. They lose an early radar. That's gotta suck. And so they're blind in the middle here. They need more comms to push at least into the center. The comm of Mythologist could come in from the west, and the comm of System Failure can come in from the north. But they're deciding to stay kind of back a little bit. Mythologist does go for a T2 upgrade. Same here for Dorset. So trying to lock down these sections of the map against their opponent. One of the best ways to do that is to build T2 PD pretty early, but a couple of engineers just trying to build a little wall, just kind of, hanging out, are going to get taken out by this Snoop. There are a couple of strikers. The engineers are trying to go for a reclaim move. They get the order off. They kill the Snoop, grab the reclaim, and that is a double kill here for the player of Kane. Kane essentially in the smack dab middle of the map, almost exactly 50-50. We do have a transport here from Team 2's player of Stig, and he is pushing forward, trying to edge the map. Of course, he's trying to reclaim this position that he tried to get earlier, but the engineers will drop, but they are too late. They're going to build a PD, though. Are they going to be quick enough is the question. The transport will be taken out. I think the Team 1 PD will finish just barely. First engineer goes down. The PD has been constructed. The Selens are no match for that firepower, and they will build a land factory. The Team 1's player of Pepe's will have to contest this section of the map, but of course his side of the map is perfectly fine. No need to worry on that front. We are seeing an incursion here from the comm of Kane with his, not with his forces, but just his forces moving in on Mythologist. Mythologist going for that upgrade, finishes it, then goes for some PD to help assist in defense on this western side of the middle. Nano repair on artifacts. He's not even taking in really any damage this game. They're going straight aggressive plays. They're getting the gun and stealth and going for nano. Maybe he'll try to hook to the right and maybe intercept the comm of Dorset. We'll have to keep an eye out for that. But Dorset does have T2 and gun and has some Uttashalas, so has to be very cognizant of that. These artifacts needs to be. Gun damage and range almost done here for Kane in the middle. Probably will go T2 here pretty shortly just to help lock it down, but he has full control over the middle of the map. And that is a decent chunk of mechs, as we do have Maximus backing him up as well. But he's going to push quite far forward against System Failure here in the middle. System does have some pillars here under some cute shield coverage. Love to see that combination play of course, shields and tanks. But there's a decent amount of Team 1 tanks from Kane as well. So I would say outmatched in numbers here for Team 1, but outmatched in technology for Team 2. So a good counter to tech is just a bunch of numbers, because 1,000 of anything will kill anything no matter what it is. So I would love to see a match of like 1,000 units going after one, let's say, experimental, and the experimental still surviving. But not shooting them in one by one. I mean, like, just boop, appearing in the middle of 1,000 units kind of thing. We do see some fighting here to the northeast corner. Dorset trying to push with his PD and units. Doing a decent job of that, but Artifacts does have this plateau advantage. Can hide up here, build some PD and artillery on this cliffs. I guess cliffside. And be able to at least lock down the combat. I think he might be moving for just locking off sections of the map, trying to have more of a defensive play. And in terms of eco at 9 minutes, it's essentially even, so nothing really too worrisome. Team 2 does lead the reclaim game by a little bit, but not by much. Again, not a huge issue here early on. Gun going down here for System, T2 going down here for Maximus XXX, gun for Pepe's. And of course, there's 6 out of the 10 players. There are 6 UEF, so expect to see a lot of triads, a lot of fat boys, a lot of shields, just to help bulk down their front lines, and of course pushing forward. I'm just kind of getting nice little shots of the comm of Dorset kind of just walking around on this cliffside. We do have a T1 radar that can see the comm. Well, can't see the comm exactly, but knows that that is the comm. once it comes into visual range. But a lot of forces here for Dorset. Could make a nice push against artifacts. He's kind of far forward with no forces inbound or nearby. There are inbound, but I don't like this. Artifacts is getting some reclaim from these T1 PD, and then we'll start to move in. The comm does get pinged by probably Team 2, and it does look like Dorset is on his way to intercept. Artifacts does have his gun upgrade and nano, so it's going to take a little bit to chew through all those hit points. They regen pretty quickly, but again, Dorset does have a lot of firepower coming off of that comm, and now Dorset is running into PD as well as some units. I feel like Artifacts could come in and assist, but units coming in from Kane to help assist his teammate. I don't know. It's not too little too late. Dorset trying to get around the comm of Dorset. Artifacts trying to just take out the units first. Dorset does target the PD first, but now he's being primaried by a bunch of Mantis. These forces are going to just run into one another, and units coming in from System Failure to the west. I do see a fight going down here to the south between two comms. Kind of similar thing going on. Both sides are being pushed by the same team. Well, I guess not the same team. Team 2 pushed versus Team 1 pushing. But Dorset might be killed off here unless he can get away. Might look like he can. Units are trying to cut off any reinforcement here from Kane in the middle. To the south, as we saw, it's now just forces and PD here for both players. Pepes is being shot by a decent amount of PD, and he is focusing fire on the comm. Not really the smartest move due to the fact that he is outmatched by firepower. He does have units coming in and Mythologist building some backline PD as well. We do see Dorset still trying to retreat and Artifact still chasing him down. He's building some PD to help assist, but it's not really looking good right now. Dorset and Artifacts are just dancing at this moment one by one, or one around one another. But Dorset suffering quite heavily. There he goes, sub 1,000. And that is GG coming out here from Dorset. That is the first kill of the game. Sub 12 minutes. That's not super quick, but decently quick here. And now it will drop to a 5v4 in favor of Team 1. With the departure of Dorset, Kane inherits his base. That is a huge boost to his eco, scaling above 140 mass per second. That will definitely rep up his gains to T3 tech, and of course for producing those experimentals. We do have units trying to hold off this incoming push here from System Failure, using the death of Dorset. He's trying to push in against this position. There's a couple of mexes under threat, but the main base from Dorset is going to be safe. And there are units coming in all the time to help assist with that defense. We do have the comm of System Failure with some nearby units nearby, with the departure of Kane from the middle, who's moving back to assist, mind you. System Failure will try to push and try to knock this position off. He's taking out wall sections and then going after PD. More PD being built as we speak. Overcharges kills that one. ADZ does lose this position. Will have to fall back a little bit. He's building a missile launcher, but that can be easily countered. And now we have T2 Mongoose making their appearance here. Oh, that is a mountain on the west side of the map. We do have Mythologist building T2, constantly trying to push his opponent off. Not really working. Both players are UEF. Actually, all three. No, two of the three players are UEF. So it's a lot of PD, a lot of firepower coming off those things. We do have a couple of T3 gunships built here by Team 2's player of Maximus XXX. He has T3 tech, and so does Team 1. But he built early gunships, tried to go after artifacts. That did not work. He had a couple of flak units and AA. He had AA from his flak units as well as ASFs from his teammates. It does look like more gunships are being produced, but it... I mean, air control is kind of the same numbers. It's very, like, minimal at this point. We are at 14 minutes, so it's not going to be a total victory. Or like, 200 versus 50 kind of thing. It's kind of like 10 versus 15. It's like, does it really? It matters, but does it really matter? But it does look like Team 1 will gain air control for the time being, and taking out those gunships did not cost them very much. So that'll be a huge advantage for Team 1, considering all of that mass was not necessarily wasted, but went to other things that Team 2 probably wish they went for otherwise. PD Wars still constantly here on the western side. The northeastern side does see a nice uptick of units here from Team 2's player of Kane. trying to gain some revenge for his fallen teammate. And there are a couple of Wagners, these amphibious tanks nearby. They're not rhinos, so they're not as strong as rhinos, I should say. And these pillars are very beefy, 1,500 hit points, and that that mech is going to fall very quickly. And this is an open wound here for Team 1. They need to close that up very quickly. Forces from Team 1 of System Failure will have to move into assist. Gunships would be nice. I see a couple of flak units as well, so that will kind of deny Team 1 the like spam T1 bomber kind of strat. And I'm not really seeing any other move in the middle. It's kind of gone to sleep a little bit. There's some back and forth on the west, but essentially it's this northeastern section and a little bit of the middle. But a lot of these T2 mechs are under threat. There's a couple of Zooey in the mix. Of course, they're known for their artillery barrages. Just do massive damage to structures. Most of the units have been dealt with from these Wagners and reinforcing units from System Failure. That's a decent amount of Zooey, and they're shooting at the PD, not shooting at the P-gens, which would be very dangerous for Team 1 to lose. We have a couple more bombers inbound. Those get summarily dealt with, and one more Ilshi. Will that do much of anything? I don't know. It does take out a T2 mech, so not the worst thing, and a shield. But I don't think it's going to get any more work done up in that. 3 mechs were killed, but I mean, that's not a whole lot. Team 1, in terms of eco, is slightly behind Team 2, about 40 mass, 30 mass per second. So starting to look not dire, but it's the ball keeps rolling in that direction, it's going to look very bad here for Team 1. Kane is constantly trying to just nibble at Team 1's exterior mechs here. System Failure trying to establish some points of contact with forcing his opponent into a kill box. But I don't know if Team 2 Kane's going to fall for it quite yet. His forces are sitting underneath a cliffside here with some shield coverage. Is there AA in there? Oh, these are the AA. Yeah, the Skyboxers. So that is a decent-sized army for Team 1 to deal with. We are seeing a counterattack here from the east from Team 1's player of System Failure. Is going to ransack this Utashala, just put it underneath shield coverage and just annihilate it with those pillars. There they go, just rolling over this position. Team 2 has a couple of bombers inbound, but that is it. Ilshi's moving in to defend. Armies keep constantly moving back and forth. This army moving into intercept. And I feel like it's starting to be kind of just a run back and forth simulator where like, oh, it needs to go over here and you just walk that way, and oh, units need to go this way and need to walk that way, instead of just building units there and keeping them there kind of thing. Especially because you pushed, you failed, and then now you're probably going to get a counterattack. There are a decent amount of units that are going to make it before these units come into range, but I feel like the main target would be probably... Oh, there's really not a whole lot here. I mean, T2 mechs are always a good idea. The engineers building Utashalas would be a good idea, but I don't see much of anything. The comm of ADZ pushing forward with his shield commander and gun and T2. Very tanky, but there's a comm underneath the shield, plus was a comm over here, but Pepe's is actually up here dealing with some insurgencies from the player of Maximus. These Mongoose are trying to be used at range, but of course they're kind of weak. Missiles trying to hit them. PD does take them down. Mythologist will have to retreat. Zooey are brought forth to help assist. It does look like not Mythologist, but ADZ alone will be able to deal with that. The units here to the east were able to kill some mexes, but I don't think they were able to take out the engineers quick enough. And now there's 3 Utashalas and more on the way. That position getting very defensible. Would like to see something again on the cliff sides here, but not seeing that as of yet. T3 on the way for Kane. I would not surprise to be seeing some Ravagers creep up this direction here pretty soon. We are approaching the 18, or sorry, not the 18, but the 19-minute mark here so far. ADZ trying to hold his own here in the center, not center, but west of the center. Trying to just keep Mythologist bottled up here. Doesn't want him spilling over into the middle. That is the dangerous spot about this map so far, is there are multiple attack avenues to get to the middle. So Kane is one of those players where it's like it's a high-risk, high-reward play. He wants to secure all the mexes, and he has most of them, at least either denied or under his control. I'd like to see him grab a couple more here, and at least these 2. But we are seeing some forces to the east being dealt with by artifacts here. He's pushing his way forward against these skyboxers and pillars and parashield. Yeah, parashields. But there's a Ilshi there kind of mixing in as well, kind of fraternizing with the other factions. We do see spy planes flying over the top over Team 1 and Team 2's bases. They constantly need that flow of intel or they won't know what's going on. And spy planes, at least this early on, aren't a big deal. They'll just tell the other team that, oh, they have T3 or, oh, they have, maybe they're building a monkey lord or something. It's not a huge issue. It's really when, oh, they spotted me building a Scathis that's half done. That's probably something you want to start locking down, that enemy intel gathering. But early on, it's not a huge issue. If you do see an effort to consistently block out any intel, you know something spicy is going down pretty early. So the sooner that happens, the sooner you got to get on your mass rush for intel or just slam your opponent. One of the two. Or do both. Both works. Where we see a group of bricks moving forward with artifacts. Would love to see a shield or at least some sort of AA. But a huge amount of hit points get taken out by artifacts is overcharge. And the Percys are focusing him for their attacks. Not T4, but 4-star on that commander. Oh, just barely 5-star. It needs to kill a couple more units. And it's starting to push, but he has to be very cognizant of the fact these units can come in from behind and ambush him. Wants to die, says system failure. Well, I mean, when you're charging against some Percys with some bricks in your comm, I mean, you're essentially on the other side of the map with no backup. It's not looking good. I feel like the forces from system should come in and assist, but I mean, if artifacts had to go somewhere and just wanted to I mean, you do get his base, says Capricious. I mean, system feels like, well, that's kind of true. That's fair. That is the benefit of players dying. If you're the highest ranked player in the game and it's a full share or even a partial share game, you get their base. So you don't want your comrades to die, but if they do die, you get their base. So it's not all bad. But units coming in from that roundabout hook maneuver, not really going to work out because it's T2 versus T3. The Percys are chasing him, but the firepower coming off those pillars are quite strong. With the Percys shooting him in the back, these bricks need to act as bullet sponges and shields for artifacts. Artifacts dropping below 50% of his hit points and quite quickly. He's being body blocked just by a little bit. Most of those pillars are dealt with. Eject, says Mythology. Wait, what? Hold on. What's going on? I'm about to clear south side. Eject, says Maximus Triple X. Don't know. And a Mythologist control Cade. He's not killed by anything. Must be a connection issue or something. But it's so it's not annoying. It just must be frustrating because all these units are gonna die. Pepe's, ooh, that's a lot of firepower. There he goes. He suffers a decent chunk of hit points. All of his units are gone. The PD is still active. He needs to get out of there as fast as he can. You know, one enemy's go, and the comm of artifacts does indeed go down to Kane. There were some broadswords in the area, of course, with those Percys chasing him all the time. 2 players on Team 1 die essentially simultaneously. Almost 3 if you count Pepe's. He was sub, I think, 1,500 hit points at one point. But he does get out of there. We see those broadswords being used to, you know, very, very effective ways. And now ADZ is targeted by a group of broadswords. His shield is almost depleted. ASFs from Team 2 should be coming in to assist, but they're not. There's no AA, and that hit points are falling very quickly. T1 AA trying to do their best, but ADZ is caught with his pants down, and that is a kill here for Team 2. Sorry, for Team 1, dropping this game to a 3v3 at 23 minutes. And if you've been enjoying this game so far, please like and comment down below. And of course, if you haven't hit that sub button, I would greatly appreciate it. But a bunch more gunships are grouping up. I would like to see some push from Team 1 to the middle. But there's a lot of shield coverage. There's a decent amount of AA coverage. There's also, of course, units just everywhere in the middle here. Kane making his mark known on the map. He controls essentially, I'd say, a fifth of the map just by himself. He has 3 bases with, does look like Stig inheriting the base from ADZ. So that is a lot of eco for both of those players to play with. Team 1 at 900 and Team 2 at 1,000. So 100 mass per second difference here for Team 2. That's a huge advantage at 24 minutes. You can see that reflected in the totals at 635,000. It does look like there might be some sort of airlock going on right now. AA is trying to be built as quickly as possible, but gunships are en route. You could go after the pigeons. This is a horde of build power that could be targeted. There they go. They're targeting the pigeons. That's a lot of build power. There it goes. There goes the second one. That second SAM site is built. The third pigeon is going down. And this is the cascade effect constantly. Take out the last one. Take out the last one. I know there's AA in the area. I get that. But you want to at least take out the last pigeon. I don't think you have... I think he has enough, I think, to take out the pigeons. But that is a huge victory by Team 1. This game is essentially owned by them for air. Even the T3 headquarters goes down. The player of Maximus Triple X is sent back reeling. Team 1 is struggling in the mass department still, and a force is pushing the front line against the player of System Failure, but he's actually being able to beat that back with his own Percy's and PD. You see Percy on Percy action here. We saw a game yesterday where a bunch of Percys took out a huge operation of a Scathis. Very interesting to watch Percy's try to chase down a Scathis that can, obviously the Scathis can move, so it's just fun to watch an experimental artillery just move on the map and then be taken out by one of the slowest units in the game, at least in terms of T3 bots. I had no T3. I really screwed my eco up. There's ADZ. I mean, mistakes are always made, and learning from them is the most important thing, which is one of the reasons I love these casts. And this, me doing this channel is I get to learn by watching and commenting on what everybody else is doing. And he has renamed some of his... Sorry, I was looking at the comm and the ASCOM. I'm like, that's not the comm. But that's his name. System Failure has deployed the old naming mod. It strikes once again. And the comm of Team 1 is not on the front lines. He's back here. But anyway, but these casts are nice. Like, oh, you see a player did something really cool. You should try that. Or they did something really dumb. Don't do that kind of thing. Learn from others' mistakes so you don't make the same mistake is better than making the mistake yourself. Always a better idea. But a large group of forces that were pushing against System Failure. Of course, he has PD and Rambo comms running around the map. So he has to be, Team 2's Kane has to be aware of that. He has to have a plan for it. He has access to chickens, so kind of surprised he isn't trying to at least start building a chicken at this point. We see another push here from the south here from STG. He has a Colossus, but there's a lot of there's a lot of PD and T2 Ilshis and a couple of gunships. This Colossus will go down. The AA is pretty oppressive, but once the Colossus falls, that is going to be about it. And these AA forces are nowhere in sight, unfortunately. And so that's going to severely not really be good for Team 2. They dropped the mass gift essentially on their doorstep of Team 1. That army is starting to shift slightly north. Maybe they'll go around the east side. I think that's where they're going to hold up here and maybe go around. But forces from system are going to intercept. There's only Team 1 PD there and only a few of them, so not a huge hurdle here for Team 2 to jump. But there are, of course, bricks coming in from the north. And they won't go all the way east because it'll take too long and these forces will intercept them. I would like to see players use the plateaus more, because they could have just walked straight into that side formation here for Team 2. Well, there's a decent amount of shielding, a decent amount of AA. There's obviously a mix of different units, Yenzines, obviously Percys. We have Skyboxers, and actually these are the Lightning Tanks and the Cougars. Very effective AA units. But the the Rambo comms are being used as the main offensive force trying to shoot at range. And it's very effective because Team 2's forces can't get close enough to really do a lot of damage. The Percys do line up the shot. System Failure's Pseudo Commander is just taking hit after hit. Look at that. Just Percy's do so much damage, and they fire. I mean, their fire rate is pretty good. It's not great like the bricks is, but it is very effective nonetheless. And there goes another Percy. Oh, it's my UEF heart just hurts when I watch Percy's get shot down. But I also love it when a Awash Obama comes in and just annihilates a whole army. I love it. It's great. The pretty explosion, bunch of death. Love it. It's great. So I am a UEF at heart, but oh man, I love Seraphim units though. They are so fun to play with. This large army here for Team 2 is just sitting here. I don't know really if Team 1 has a really good counter against them. I mean, they have Rambo comms, which is, very tanky. But Team 2 needs some sort of rallying unit to, rally behind, and a experimental would be great. But I don't see Kane building one. I mean, I think the he is, no, that's actually Maximus. Maximus is building the Fat Boy. And he could be building a chicken, which he currently is now. Should have built that like a couple minutes ago, but you need something to have essentially be the bullet sponge for all of these Percys moving away. We can see those brick formations with Rambo preset commanders from the UEF faction just kind of running around the map up there. STYG YC has built another experimental. This time it is a Colossus. No, that's his second one. There it is. It's right here. And that's going to be 2 Colossi on the western approach. Team 1 does have... Ooh, that's starting to hurt with those artillery bombarding them. They need more shields. They are Seraphim shields, but it does look like there's power issues with... Not Kane, with Pepe's. Yeah, he's down on power. He's trying to fix it, but it's just struggling to do so. The Seraphim shields are the best shields in the game, of course, but if they're not online, they can't really do anything. Be really interested to see if Kane takes his forces through this section of the map. But it doesn't look like it. I think he's holding off, waiting for his chicken to be built. Probably a best idea. It would be really interesting to see one of these Colossus split up and go north and assist Kane in the middle. That would be a great move. But of course, building up a lot of strats, says Team 1. Or it says ADZ. Well, Team 1 is. There's a couple of strats. Not a heck of a lot, but they do have a nuke, and that was just finished here a couple of seconds ago. Chickens being mass produced here by Team 1. Fat Boys and another nuke launcher here for Team 1. So 2 nukes so far. Love to see those nuke launchers. Just don't know what Kane is doing right now. He's just kind of shifting his units around, and all that does is gives Team 1 more and more time to just build a horde of clean cameras. A battery of them. Geez, that thing is kind of deadly. Put a shield around that thing and call it good. Wrap it up for Christmas. But the Colossus movement is incoming. Pings go down, warning the Team 1 of the incoming threat. But 3 Colossi versus 1 chicken. That is not looking good. Let's flip the script, get a nice little view on that incoming threat. The chicken is called forth. He's going to try to go in the middle of these Colossi to try to assist with the Ion Storm. But is going to miss at least the lead one. Has to turn around. The Colossi just ignoring him straight up, but a horde of gunships are on their way. The first Colossus is down. The second one is going to fall here pretty soon. The chicken is hugging the Colossus. The Colossus does turn to hit the chicken, but a lot of AA will deal with a lot of these gunships. But I think it's a little too late here. The Ion Storm will open up here in a couple of seconds, and there goes that third Colossus. Oh, man. Ooh, you keep donating mass, you'll lose the game by yourself. Oh, that's gotta hurt. STY probably thought that he had a good push, but with the Uttashalas plus the chicken that he didn't kill and just let walk by, and then the broadswords that came in. 3 Colossus worth of mass. That is a decent amount of mass. What the? That was weird. We're talking about, like 50,000 mass right there. That's a fourth of a Paragon. Stop this, says Maximus. I mean, it's a good idea to just build up, 8 or 10 Colossi and just push forward. That is a legitimate strategy. How much you paying them? Lol. They think they have a spy or a traitor in their midst. But we have system failure. Pseudo is still alive. There's only one of them, which is very interesting. He only chose to name one of them. Maybe that's his proxy here on the front lines. Doesn't want to put his commander in threat, which, you know, makes sense. But the nukes here for Team 1, pings go down. They're almost loaded, it looks like. One of them is halfway. One of them is quarter of the way. There are some SMD already built, but none of them are loaded. This is very dangerous. Team 2 has starting to reestablish their air grid. Maximus is very annoyed right now with this Colossus. He's like, stop pushing forward. Team 1 has already reclaimed. Actually, no, this is Team 2. This is Maximus. He's reclaiming those engineers. There's no AA in the area. And so these robo drones can easily just scoop all this up, but a flak will open up and take all those out. They were able to get at least 1.5, it looks like. Oh yeah, essentially 1.5. That's pretty good considering. Oh, actually, they got the chicken too, so 2.5. It's a really good grab. Not all the mass was donated, just some of it. B-strap snipe on SMD or comm soon. Looks like there's just spy planes flying around. How's that nuke looking here for Team 1? It is almost loaded. I hear chicken fire somewhere. The chicken is sitting on the edge of the wall. It's going to walk over the wall. Just ignore that. Take out this clean camera battery. And AA battery as well. I think the clean cameras were really the main thing. This position started to lose some shielding, but it's going to hold for now. The chicken's just going to sit there. Okay, you got to move like a couple more feet. Gotta move a couple more meters. Come on, you can do it. Team 2 has their own chicken in the form of Kane. He has a huge group of units here to the east and a small group to the west with the chicken in the middle. Probably a good idea to split his forces up just to kind of just distract Team 1. But system failure with the Rambo preset commanders. Rambo preset commanders. And a horde of bricks and Percys here with artillery installation here. That one's going to get taken out, but decent amount of hit points already knocked off. Ravagers built up and more of them opening fire as time goes on. Going to turn off the symbols once again. The bubble shields constantly trying to push Team 1. The chicken being used as actually this force being used as a distraction while Team 2's Kane pushes with the chicken. But a FAF war comes onto the scene and will force this chicken back. That chicken here from Team 1 actually doing a decent job of pushing here against Kane to the south. Kane will have to deal with that. Maybe these forces will go full east. The issue is that Team 1 is starting to prepare for that. Could have used the opportunity to go for it, but they are not. There's that chicken I was mentioning earlier. This forward position has not been attacked in a while, or at least tried to be attacked in a while, and so really not a lot of defenses online. He's targeting all the engineers, which is interesting. There's some units here to the north he can take out. The chicken is constantly trying to move. Has some pillars here in the middle he could take out. I don't know. Oh, he's going for the SMD on the hill. That's a great move. The thing is, can he hit it? And I think he can. He's just barely tall enough. Look at that. This gun barely reaches his rapid fire one. Can't hit, but the other one can. It's hitting the shields all the time. The chicken behind him constantly trying to fire on him, but it doesn't look like he can really hit it necessarily. The shield is almost down. He tried to do a SMD snipe. The first missile has been loaded. It's gotta hurt. He almost got it. Ha 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 ha, says Maximus. Ha 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 ha. But the strap bombers come in, and that smile is gonna go away here pretty quickly. Here come the bombs. The SMD is down. Team 1 had to use a chicken and a strat, but strat snipe, but that is it. They gain the advantage. Team 1 launches their nuke. The comm of Kane is underneath shield coverage, but no SMD. It's actually going here, of all places. I mean, yeah, going for mass, going for, I get it. One loaded, says STY. I mean, yeah, obviously. But a little too late on that comment. Team 1 almost has the second one operational as well. And the RAS comms are moving. The chicken trying to hold them back, but the nuke goes off. Kaboom! Takes out a huge section of core mass. There's more here and more there too, but dealing economic damage with a missile is always mass efficient. Team 1 does have that second nuke. Are they going to put it somewhere? There it goes. It is loaded. Are they going to launch it? They need to launch it now. This SMD will probably load by the time it fires, so maybe they should put it somewhere else. This would be a nice position to knock out. Or the air grid would be a nice position as well. There it goes. It's going to go here, of all places. There is a chicken nearby. Less travel time means less time for the army to move. This has just been an annoying system failure the entire match, so he's going to launch that in the middle. Going to turn off all the symbols again so we get a nice little picture of the incoming nuke. Sit on the hill. Sit on the hillside. There we go. There it goes. Kaboom! Takes out the chicken. Forces the chicken to kneel. The second one watching his comrade die. Oof, says ADZ. Oof is right. Oh, that's gotta hurt. A lot of Percy's and other units died in that explosion. Kane still has this army here to the east, but now the Hornet's Nest has been kicked in the other direction. The floodgates are open, and now the chicken will have to move to intercept. And now, where are those Rascoms? Oh, they're right here. I'm wondering where they went. We're here. Strap bombers? Oh, no, those are T1 bombers taking out some AA defenses. This is far from over. Get Omni back, says ADZ. Yep. Good attitude here from ADZ. Constantly being the man in the chair here for Team 2. More miasma constantly firing onto this position. Shields are starting to buckle. And STY probably has some nice momentum going in his direction. But, of course, doesn't want to dump all that mass once again. The army is moving in slowly. And we have a Novax here for Team 2's player, Maximus. Where is it? Oh, it's back here. Second one being built as we speak. Team 1 is still loading missiles, question mark. Yep, they have one loaded. The second one for system is about a third the way done. System very happy about something. Don't know what that's about. ASF's flying every which way, but a horde of gunships are on their way. That is not going to look good if those Colossus push. There's going to be devastation here for Team 2's play of STY. That army from Team 1 not willing to engage. They want to engage on their territory, which is kind of smart because there's also 2 chickens and a fat boy. So, probably the best idea. But a lot of Kane's forces will be devoted to just securing this position once again. This army here to the east is going to just hold. He's not willing to risk it yet. 100 HP. Oh, that sucks. ADZ says 100 HP on that Stone Ager. Oh, man, that's gotta hurt. Oh, man. And the other one is shielded by Team 1's player of system failure. I think he's building an artillery. Yep, he is. He's pumping out those Rascoms, of course. The fat boy trying to use his massive range advantage to, well, his advantage. Killed with broads, says artifacts. Well, yeah, he could. Is it worth it? Kind of here or there. I mean, there's not a lot of AA. It's a couple of flak, and it's actually mainly flak. There's a couple of lightning tanks in there as well. I don't know if it's really worth it. I think he's waiting for those Colossus to move. Or tell System to do anything, says Capricious. System being a little bit more defensive than his Mirror of Kane. Kane constantly pushing, but this is dead in 1 minute, says Pepe's. What? Oh. But he could launch it now. I don't think there's any SMD on the way. Oh, no, there's an artillery. Never mind. That's what he was talking about. It is a T3 Hovatham artillery installation. Artillery wars are in full effect here at 41 minutes. We see chickens being mass produced here. I don't see any counterattack to this. Of course, we see a counter nuke here for Team 2's player of STY. But a lot of those engineers being killed by the artillery fire. There goes another one. Takes out a section of them. Pings go down to warn his teammate. That one really missing off the edge of the map there. I don't see really any movement here from Team 2 in that forward direction that they need. And of course, the longer Team 2 waits to do anything against Team 1, the more they can build up. The second nuke for System is almost done. The third one for Capricious is the third the way completed. That artillery has killed the one that they were building. We have Maximus trying to shield his one that he has. That shot is very wide. Not really, not centralized would be the word that I would use, but centralized. He's I mean, it'd be nice to take out that Novax, you'd probably be thinking, but isn't focused on that. The second Hovertham installation is halfway done, so you have 2 comms with a nuke, 1 comm with artillery, another comm struggling with power, but also is building artillery, and a massive front line for Team 2 to have to break through. The horde of gunships is just going to be oppressing, but another nuke has been launched here by Team 1. Where is it going? I actually don't know. I didn't see the ping. Armies are splitting up to avoid incoming threats. But it's going southward to this position. Very interesting. Taking out T3 Mechs and a horde of just T1 units doing the conga line, essentially. There goes the nuke. It's going to land. I see some movement from the gunships. Once the nuke lands, I'll go see what's going on. Kaboom! The gunships did get the mortar to move. And they're going after the experimentals. Actually, they probably go after the Fat Boy first. That'd be the smart play. Take out the very slow unit. But they're also taking out Flak and any AA as well. So it's, again, kind of a toss-up. The ASF all called in to deal with the broadswords. They have to peel off, though. The incoming ASF from Team 1 is going to be very overwhelming. The turns, they are going to engage. It's not the best idea. Those broadswords need to get out of here. Nice turns by Team 2. They do have the air advantage with STY in the mix, but they're not really using it as much as they should be doing. Artillery is starting to be oppressive. Okay, literally as I say that, Maximus XXX gets control over those other ASFs. It looks like he's going to engage once again. Broadswords don't have any... Oh, do they have AA? I don't think they... Oh, they kind of do, but they're very weak. A lot of those broadswords are going to be taken out. There's really no AA to protect them. Ooh, that's got to hurt. Team 2 has a ball of ASFs. And the engagement is going well here for Team 2. But it's starting to fail. Those turns are not doing very well. And another nuke will launch, this time from Team 2's base of STY. 2 artillery installations are online currently. They're targeting the nuke launcher. The nuke will launch. They'll take out this frontline position. That'll be huge for Team 2. But the chickens do move out of the way. And Team 1, who did not have the superior numbers in ASFs, will gain the advantage, at least from the glance that I had. There comes the nuke. Boom. Nothing is left standing here for Team 1 in that position. That is, I mean, that's been a very vital base for the player of Kane here. Not Kane. Pepe's here on the western side. Just look at the oppressive firepower coming off of those artillery installations. The shields are holding strong. A third one being built as well. Man, he is just cranking those out. The nuke for system failure is loaded. A good position would be right about here. 3 chickens and a Fat Boy. The walls are opening up. The floodgates are being released here. It is not looking good here in the center for Team 1. There's not a lot of defenses, just a couple of chickens. There is a decent amount of sniper bots, though, and they're dealing massive damage just to this Colossus alone. Let me get a nice angle on it. Shoot, man. You got to keep shooting. There's a hover. There's a siege tank that just gets taken up and survives. Look at that. He's over there. And here come the gunships. Do they push? Do they not push? I mean, you might as well push. And no, the AA is kind of oppressive. The main issue here is to the east. The chickens have to retreat to block some of the bleeding here. The second Colossus goes down. 1 chicken will stay in defense. It's 3 versus 2 here. With a Fat Boy, of course. Laser from the top from Team 1's player of Capricious. A bunch of broadswords once again being used to great effect. ASS from Team 2 coming to help deal with those. ASS from Team 1 need to engage. Here they go. It'll be another air win for Team 1. The chickens are pushing southward, not northward. They're getting jammed up here. And it does look like the chickens will retreat. The push was kind of successful, but not really. And it's really looking like Team 1 is really controlling where Team 2 can attack them. There's an army to the east that got dealt decent amount of blows, but that horde of bricks and Percies is just overwhelming. You have to watch out for the AoE fire from the chickens, of course, but man, that is very oppressive. We have a Duke being fired by Team 1's player of system failure. And a horde of strap bombers are on their way. Where are they going? They cannot be spotted. They're going to fall back down there. Team 1 cannot know about those. Team 2 needs a win in this game. They've lost the nuke. Where'd the nuke go? Oh, the nuke's gone. Okay. They've lost the nuke. Their air grid is now under threat. Team 2 not really doing anything. They still have that one Novax. That's really about it. They had a nuke. They used it very well, and then it died. So, yeah. The second chicken will go down. The third chicken will follow after that. A lot of flak in here, but there's not a lot of ground units as well. That's the downside with relying just solely on experimentals, is after that, experimentals are killed. That's kind of it. Lasers being used as a defensive satellite, not an offensive satellite. The third Hovertham is pretty close to being completed, and they're building more and more chickens, of course, not stopping the production of chickens. And the artillery is just starting to be overwhelming for Team 1. Team 2 is not firing back in that regard. They need a win. Drop bombers would be a great move to kill a player, or at least a group of installations. This is probably their main goal, is to take out this position. That would give them some momentum back in this game. But those chickens are gone. The Fat Boy's about to be taken out. Pings constantly go down. Shields mentioned by ADZ. Needs a couple more. No, needs way more than just a couple more. Second Novax is online. Duke doing some damage to Team 2's air grid. At least one of them. And it's just starting to be oppressive. Push in the middle by a bunch of system failure. Rambo preset commanders. But the chickens for Team 2 are going to have to force them back. Rambos versus chickens. Who wins? Honestly, my bet is the Rambos. Oh, but but if some of them die, that doesn't help. Rambo's starting to force them back. You can see the shots arc upward. You can see all those dead Rambo preset commanders. Chicken's starting to be overwhelming for them. It's the AoE explosions that really get the Rambos. They need to be kind of very thinned out. But the system failure, no, there it goes. The system failure. Rambo preset commander has been destroyed. The pseudo commander, and in retaliation, system failure says you destroyed my Rascom. My Rambo preset commander. Prepare to die. Where is he going to launch it? Is it going to be? It is going to be this position. So that is very hilarious. But 3 Hovertham installations. Those strat bombers not really, again, not doing anything. They need to be used. You can, fly them around the map all you want. Kaboom. I am missing a satellite? How are you missing a satellite?
Strategic launch detected. Strategic launch detected.
Huh. That is weird. I don't know what that's about. Rambo comms are going down, but the dual nukes are headed to the same location, it looks like. Going to intercept this land army. It is a dual nukage, and that is a nicely placed nuke. 1 and 2. Kaboom. Fourth already at 50%, says ADZ, and most of that army will have to just stop. Cannot go anywhere. That chicken does die, and T1 bombers are just going to, die, but try to wipe that up. I have 2 satellite installations, but only 1 satellite. That is very weird. I'm trying to investigate that and try to figure out what's going on, because I can see the 2 installations down here. We can see the 2 right here. And there's 1. And if it was off the map, of course, you would see the vision range. Where is the second one? That is very weird. Yeah, I don't see it. That's kind of weird. I don't know if that's a bug or something. That has to be a bug. There should be a button to rebuild satellite or something, like recall it. Build cost. Oh, no, you can just rebuild it. Oh. Okay, well, that works. He'll just have to rebuild it manually, I guess. Hit this with Artie. Says artifacts from Team 1. Oh, yeah, that's a good position to take out, but the Novaxes are definitely the threat that the player of Pepe's wants to eliminate. He doesn't want to get constantly lasered in the face. Wow, that fourth one is getting... He needs more shielding, but the fourth one is getting up very quickly, and he's getting his own nuke. Everybody gets a nuke. You get a nuke, you get a nuke, you get a nuke. Everybody gets a nuke, and I see it. I see the Maver, who I haven't seen in a very long time. I really want to see it. But I know this game's going to end in like 6-7 minutes, so I'm not going to see it most likely. Oh, it's just stuff is just exploding constantly. GG too many, says Maximus Triple X. Well, yeah. It's just the artillery pressure. There's a second Duke from Team 1's player of system failure. Man, this is not a shutout, but dang. Just artillery all the time. Team 2 not even fighting back at this point. I don't see any artillery being built by anybody realistically. Nope. And I'm missing a satellite. Yeah, I saw it launch though. Yeah, I did see the second one launch. That is weird. But he should be able to just rebuild it from his satellite. It's going to cost more mass, but at least he can get it back. He shouldn't have lost it to begin with, but anyway. Team 1 using their satellite. Stealth TML base, says ADZ. I mean, yeah, but I don't know if it's going to work. GL2 says artifacts. So we will have to see, but you can see just the oppressive might of the artillery. The comm of Maximus is targeted, and he gets hit by one of the artillery. He's just going to take it to the face till he dies, it looks like. There he goes. Looks like he died to Control K. Yep, there he goes. And now is a 3v2 in favor of Team 1. Too much arty. I can't, says STY. We have no air. I mean, not that you don't have any, but you don't have a lot of it. You could deny that with a lot of AA, but you've had strap bombers for a very long time, and this west side is very weak to AA. There's essentially nothing on this western side. You could have gone after these P-gens, but no one did. Fifth at 0%. 1, 2, 3, 4 built here, and it's just racing for a nuke. Stand to anyway, says Art. AZ, I mean, you might as well, right? If you know you're going to lose, you might as well try something. Pet-based builds and experimental. It's probably another chicken. I would assume it's a chicken. It's a chicken. A Vance nano repair going down here for him, but artillery has taken out everything. Look at this. They're trying all the moving units down here. Here comes the march of the Colossus once again. But the Intercept, the ASF, wow, are trying to just take out these strap bombers. I really want one to get shot by artillery, but hasn't happened as of yet. There is a horde of them. Team 1 cannot break through. They need to maybe even split just to even get some in. Even on this east side, they can easily come in and take something out, but there's just hardly there's realistically nothing here on either side. I want the game to be done already, says Capricious. Rapid fire landing. 2 Novaks incoming, says artifacts. 2 Novaks? What? I don't know what that's talking about with the 2 Novaks is. I think Salvation says ADZ. Well, it's not Salvation. It's just 4 Hovathams. Maver says Maximus. Yep. It's not going to be built. But another nuke has been launched by Team 1. Team 2 is going to suffer the nuclear hellfire once again in the same position once again. That's what, like the 3rd nuke here? 2nd nuke? There's a lot of nukes here. And it's just snipe, says ADZ. Yep. I mean, go after something at this point. The 2 satellites are moving in to try to take out system failure in the back. It does look like those satellites, those strats will be moving in, but the interceptors, the ASFs are moving in to take them out. They're trying to just avoid this horde of ASFs, but it's not going to work. You need to disguise them essentially with the ASFs in the middle, but Colossus are moving northward, but there's 3 artillery Fat Boys plus additional artillery, of course, and the horde has been released. It is inbound for those Colossi. A lot of them are going to scoop up. It's too late. Critical mass of T3 already, says ADZ. And I think after this push, I think that will be game. I don't see those strap bombers. Oh, no, they're still down there. Strap bombers were built for a while, but weren't really utilized. And there's more chickens coming in to assist. Sorry, I'm trying to push buttons, and push buttons isn't working. There we go. The 2nd Colossus falls. The 3rd Colossus will fall very rapidly. There it goes. And now 2 chickens are inbound. But it does look like GG's go out in the chat here from Team 2. 2 armies meeting in the middle here. Maybe the strap bombers will come in. No. Okay, never mind. I really want to see the strap bombers do something, but they're not. Very unfortunate. Artillery is just killing literally everything but main bases at this point. It's going after the comm of Kane. Kane is under threat here from Team 1's player of Pepe's. That is a lot of artillery raining in on him. Ooh, that one's gonna hurt. Ooh, I felt that one. That's gonna hurt. The second chicken will fall here pretty quickly. There's 2 more. Look at the impressive firepower. We have 4 Fat Boys plus a horde of PD and just a bunch of other things firing all the time. Scrap bombers for Team 1 trying to do some damage. The third chicken will die to just the oppressive might of system failure. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. There it goes. Artillery still trying to focus on Kane. Another nuke will launch here from Team 1. This time it's from Pepe's. And where is this one going? Is it going to just end the game? No, I think the artillery will do that. Kane is in the red. The strap bombers are finally given the order to move, but it's way too late on that aspect. And there it goes. This army is just running into a rock, essentially beating itself upon its shores. And the nuke does land, taking out the comm. Actually, the comm didn't die to that. Comm just died to artillery. No, wait, hold on. No, that's a comm kill. It's not a nuke. Oh, there it is down here. System failure has won the game, or at least Team 1 has won the game. Looks like they targeted or made STY recall. But again, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this cast. If you did, please please hit the like button and comment down below what your favorite moment of the cast was. And of course, if you haven't hit that sub button, I would greatly appreciate it. Again, thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. It was always appreciated. And in terms of underrated player of the game, ooh, couple good choices. I feel like Pepe's did a very, very good job. He locked this western position down quite heavily, essentially for the entire game. And even when he lost it, he gained it back. And then he built 4 artillery, which just dominated the rest of the late game and end game match. So I think I'm going to give it to Pepe's. He was very solid. System failure, 1700, did an amazing job, of course. Poor Fat Boys. Of course, he had his Rambo preset commander of a system failure on the front line, helping assist in offensive measures. And he killed a lot of stuff here. They never really went past this line. Like, once he built that line and held it, that was it for the middle. Team 2's only really avenue could have been the east. But since it was very easy to divert forces over there, it was not really useless, but kind of useless. So I understand Team 2's efforts to focus here on the south, but man, they needed something to fight back the artillery with. And when they lost that air grid early on, it wasn't game over. They could have come back, but it definitely was starting to cement. They were building a Maver, and it was almost halfway done. That wouldn't have won it for themselves. Would not have won the game by itself, but would have definitely had some more momentum for them. But yeah, I think Pepe's definitely earns the underrated player of the game award for this match. Let me know if you feel the same or differently down in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one.